plays Cast Breaker. Please welcome Freddy.
Kelly. You got any more you want to say to everyone? Nah, you've had enough of him. It's going to be a lovely weekend. Thank you for being here.
And how long did you need to practice for it?
We practiced for 7 weeks, I think, on and off because of shooting, but yeah, it was about 7 weeks, and I was probably the fittest I've ever been training with those guys. So that was good. And I sort of assumed we'd have quite a few takes, but in the fight, I don't know if you remember, there's a bit where I like pick up a chair with my cane and fling it at someone. And they said that they only had 3 chairs. On the day, they said that they only had 3. And we did the first take, and you can always tell when something's not as good as it should be because people say, "Don't worry, we'll get the next one. It's gonna be great on the next one." And then the next one, the chair, I pulled it as hard as I could, and the chair was like a kind of cartoon where the chair stayed still. Just fell apart. I don't know what was going on. So then we only had 1 go. So the one that's in the show, is the last take.
It turns out great.
And it went all right. Yeah. Thank you. It's all very TED talky, isn't it? I've got nothing good to say. Hi.
I want to preference this by saying that you look dashingly handsome today. I want to ask you the same question I asked Amita earlier, and there are some scenes in the show that are the same as in the books, and I wanted to know what is your favorite scene that's in the show and also in the book?
Somebody asked a question about it earlier. It's actually the takedown of Pekka and the kind of that whole switch and reversal, I would say. That whole sequence, I think. The kind of the trap that they set and all of that stuff. to put that on screen was really exciting.
It was very good to see you do it, so you did an amazing job. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hey, you look great.
Thank you. So do you. I was wondering, there is this kind of funny fan theory that if Cass wouldn't have become an orphan and would have grown up on his farm, he would basically be your character, Pim. And I was wondering whether you agree with that theory, or if you think that Cass would have turned out to be much different, even though he would have a happy childhood and everything.
It's a good theory. I like it. I do like it. It's a kind of multiverse thing going on. I like it. I suppose that if Kaz wasn't an orphan, because in some ways Pin is not orphaned, but he has all that trauma to do with his mum. So if Kaz wasn't an orphan and had just grown up happily on a farm, he probably wouldn't be as moody and difficult as Pin. So maybe he'd just be a happy-go-lucky farm guy. That would be nice.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Was identified with your character as Cass?
From filming?
Yes, or like specific scene or something.
Weirdly, there's lots to choose from, but actually I went to set the day that they were filming some of the flashback stuff. And so watching somebody else play the character was a very kind of strange meta thing, because I've done lots of work to imagine what those flashbacks looked like and what it meant to me and to the character, and seeing Flynn and Tommy acted out on screen was really that's when I felt very connected to them.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I first of all want to say I really loved your performance through all 2 seasons, and I really loved the progression of how you acted. Season 1 is Cass and season 2 is Cass, because I do see a very, very big difference there, and it's really it's quite marvelous to see how well you portray him as a character as well. But my question is completely somewhere else, because I did read that you and your wife actually met on the set of Free Reign, and I wanted to maybe ask, if that's not too much, how that happened, because I'm a very big fan of both of your characters in Free Reign too.
I mean, yeah, there's it's not like a meet cute or anything. We just we met in a kind of, basically whenever you film, wherever the set is, there's a set and it's all very glamorous. There's lights and there's makeup and there's hair and all of this. It's all very glam. And then normally about a mile away from there, there's something called the unit base, which is where all the trailers are. And it normally smells, and it's normally in an abandoned car park or something like that. So yeah, our first meeting was in a kind of disused car park in North Wales, which is not the most romantic of settings, but a good one, I'd say. Worked out okay.
Thank you.
Hi, so I was wondering if you would meet Cass, what would you two give each other as a life advice?
If I was to meet Kaz,
Yes.
he'd probably tell me to toughen up. And I'd tell him to be a bit softer. Probably be as simple as that. And then I'd run away because I'd be too scared. I'd probably write it down slowly. Get out of there. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I feel like I always say the same one, which is when people say impossible, they usually mean improbable. But today, somebody was wearing a very cool t-shirt, which on the back said, "I like having powerful enemies, it makes me feel important," which is a very Naked Line buzz. So yeah, that's another favorite.
You said, do my song. I said, later. Well, everyone knows my quote, because it's the only line I can remember I ever say. So apart from saying that gutter rat, Kasbreker, my favourite line is, Herbert, I'll carve you up and leave you in a barrel for the rats.
It's a hard one to beat, isn't it? I think, well, mine changes all the time, but right now I'm really feeling I'll die on my feet with a knife in my hand.
I always say the same thing, but it's Kasbreker didn't need a reason.
Yeah, I often go with the same one as well, and I think it is I've been made to protect you. Even in death, I will have you
I know. I'd miss me too. I'm fantastic. Thank you very much. That was a good one. That was a good question. The spotlight. There it is. Hello.
Hey, I've already asked my question to Freddy. Yeah, English is good. Anyway, my question is, what is your character's go-to karaoke song?
So what's our character's favourite karaoke song?
Yes.
Okay.
Total eclipse of the heart.
You always have an answer for this question like that. And every time it's different. And every time it's brilliant. How often do you think about it?
It's my Roman Empire.
Take it back, mate. Don't know. I really don't know. Someone else say something. You got one?
Yeah, I think I go with Exile.
That's good.
Mine would be Sex Bomb. Of course, as we've renamed it, Sex Bomb. Oh, I just got that.
I think mine would be Staying Alive. I don't even know. Because you can't kill him. You can't kill him.
I think Tomas would be, yeah, great question. I think Tomas would be Poison by Alice Cooper. Mine would be All I Wanted Was You by Paramore.
I'd probably just do I Feel Good, James Brown. That'd be good.